multiplicative inverse is generated when key is multiplied. When you observe, both will become inverse as well as encrypted code with the formula. Perform the modulus operation on this product, it will give you the remainder 1. Hello students, welcome to the next session of Network Security. I am Dr. Soumyashri from Department of Computer Science, Vidyashram College. In the last session, I explained you about the basic type of cryptography, that is symmetric key cryptography, where same type of or single key is used from both the sender as well as the receiver, maybe Alice or Bob, anybody. Receiver and the sender will use the same key to encrypt as well as decrypt the message. Okay. In that, we have seen again different types of cryptanalysis, how you can analyze the vulnerability of the encrypted code to the attacks, isn't it? That all I have explained in the last session. One of the cryptographic method I have explained in last session is that it is the additive cipher. What is an additive cipher is there will be a set of integers that are used to represent the alphabets of English language, because cryptography is assuming that only English language is used for this instance. So, it has generated 26 numeric values from 0 to 25 to represent the 26 alphabets of the English. Okay. Using that 26 alphabets, you can generate a key which represents each of the alphabet, is it not, from 0 to 25. Like if it is 4, it will represent the alphabet E. If it is 5, it will be F. If it is 24, the alphabet will be Y, like this, is it not? Additive cipher will use the key value to be added to the integer value of character in the message and must generate the mod of 26. Why it is? Because we are using 26 domains, 26 alphabets in the English. We usually make it mod 26. If you are using some other language, if it contains 48 alphabets, 48 letters, then that will be mod 48. That is, general expression is, like I said in the last session, there will be alphabets P, C and K, where P represents the plain text, C represents the cipher text and K represents the key, is it not? So, to get the cipher text, how you can do it is integer value plus key value mod 26 will generate you the integer value which represents one of the character in the English alphabet. The integer value will represent one of the character in the English alphabet, is it not? To generate again the plain text, as I said in the previous sessions of cryptography, encryption and decryption are converse process or inversely proportional or inverse of each other. That means what does the encryption will do? Decryption will perform the adverse of that or opposite operation of that. Like example, in encryption, if the key is added, in decryption, key will be subtracted. Okay. Now, you have to use the C minus K mod 26. Okay. So, this is how you can encrypt as well as decrypt a message using the key. You need a key. Why it is called as additive cipher is you are adding the key value to the message. So it is called as the additive cipher. Okay. In this additive cipher or any kind of cipher, you have to consider 2 points. Okay, what is that is, you have to find out the inverse, is it not? How do you find the inverse? Like that. Okay. In the last session, I told you about an example of generating a cryptic code from the word hello. How do you generate encrypt the code hello, and how do you decrypt those codes back into hello, is it not? So there will be some doubts regarding how reverse can be calculated, is it not? So today, now in this session, I am going to explain how you can generate the decrypted code or actual message from the encrypted code. Alright. So it shall continue with this substitution cipher where you are substituting a character. In that you have additive cipher. Okay. Before moving to another different types of ciphers, we need to find out the inverse. Okay. How do you find the inverse of a key? Because you need to find the inverse of a key, is it not? In the decryption method, you have to find the inverse of the code that has been generated in the encryption method. How do you perform that? To perform the inverse or to generate the inverse, we have 2 methods. One is additive inverse, another one is multiplicative inverse. Okay, additive inverse and the multiplicative inverse. Additive inverse works when key is added. When key is added, you will get the additive inverse. Multiplicative inverse is generated when key is multiplied. When you are going to multiply the key, in such a case, multiplicative inverse will be generated. Okay, additive inverse and the multiplicative inverse. Alright, let's have a look at how to generate an additive inverse and multiplicative inverse. Okay, how do you generate additive inverses? You take a system of a message that is Z. Z is a message. You take, okay, N is number of domain in the message. Like if you have 26 letters, it will become Z26. If you have 48 alphabets, it will become Z48. If you have only 10 alphabets, then it will be Z10. How many domains or how many characters you use in a message will form Z to the base N. Okay. In this, we consider 2 numbers A and B. So these numbers will have A is used in encryption, whereas B is used as in ciphertext. A is used in plain text and B is used in ciphertext. Okay. A will represent a character in plain text. B will represent a character in ciphertext. B will generate a character in ciphertext. How do you, if B is an additive inverse of A, if B becomes additive inverse of A of each other, they can be called as additive inverse of each other when addition of both the values becomes equal to 0. Okay. When performed with mod operation, the addition of these 2 numbers must become 0. Okay. How do you calculate this additive inverses? Okay, A can be calculated as B equals N minus A. So, N minus A or any A value. Okay. Example is given here. Additive inverse of 4. If you take the character number as 4, what is the additive inverse of 4 for the base 10 is 10 minus 4, that is 6. That means if encrypted character has character E for the number 4, the message will be encrypted as 4, okay, it represents value E. When it is reversed back, the additive inverse of 4 will be 6, okay, that will be G when it is decrypted. This is encrypted value. This is decrypted value. This is decrypted value. Encrypted and decrypted. Okay. The base minus the value will give you the additive inverse of this. Okay. This is base 10. That is, you have 10 characters, I am assuming, or 11 characters. If it is 26 characters, it will be Z26. Okay. If the value of A is 4 only, how do you calculate is N minus A, that means 26 minus 4 will give you 22, isn't it? So, the additive inverse of 4 with N26 will be equal to 22, alright. So, this is the additive inverse. Okay, if you take the numbers 0 to 10, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have additive inverse of these characters will be for 0, base is 10, 10 minus 0 is 10 or 0 itself, 10 is not there, only 0 to 9 is there. So, 0 itself, when it comes in a reverse cyclic order, 0 itself is the inverse of 0, which is not a valid 1. So, we do not consider the additive inverse of 0. Okay. 1, for 1, additive inverse is 9, that is 10 minus 1, 9. For 2, additive inverse is 8. For 3, additive inverse is 7. For 4, additive inverse is 6. For 5, again it is 5. For 6, it is 4. For 7, it is 3. 8, it is 2. And 9 is 1. Okay. So, this is additive inverse. This is the code. And this is the inverse. Okay. When you observe, both will become inverse as well as encrypted code with the formula. Okay. 9 is the inverse of 1, whereas 1 is the additive inverse of 9. 8 is the additive inverse of 2, whereas 2 is additive inverse of 8. 7 is additive inverse of 3. In converse, 3 is additive inverse of 7, is it not? Like this, 6 is additive inverse of 4, whereas 4 is the additive inverse of 6. Okay. So, this is how you can generate an additive inverse. Okay. Additive inverse is less likely used because additive ciphers gives you a chance of getting your message attacked by someone else using the brute force search, because you have only limited number of keys in this, is it not? If it is 26, how much keys you can generate? Only 25 keys you can generate. A computer can perform the brute force attack more capably for just 25 keys. Within no time, it can search all the keys. How do they search? I'll explain it in the next slides. Okay. Now this is additive inverse. Okay. Next we shall come to the multiplicative inverse. This is a little bit complex than the additive inverse. Okay. So multiplicative inverse is used whenever there is multiplication operation is executed for key and the encrypting code. Okay. Again we take the z to the base n, two numbers a and b, they are said to be multiplicative inverse of each other if this expression holds true. That means a into b must become congruent to 1, okay, when it is executed with mod operation. Okay. Mod operation is performed on this product. If that result becomes equal to 1, then you can say that both are multiplicatively inverse. Alright. Now, if you take the example of modulus 10, we take the base as 10, then the multiplicative inverse of 3 is 7. Why it is 7? 7 plus 3, 10. Is it like that? No, you have to perform the multiplication. That means 3 into 7, when you perform the mod operation on this product, 3 into 7 is 21. 21 mod 10 will give you 1. Is it not? So, the final product of this operation must always be 1. In such a case, these two will be multiplicatively inverse of each other. Okay, if 7 is there, 3 is the multiplicative inverse in this. If 3 is there, 7 is the multiplicative inverse when modulus is 10. When modulus becomes equal to 26, that is in our actual cryptography, we use modulus of 26, is it not? 26 alphabets. So, it is modulus of 26. How do you perform this inverse operation is, you have to find out the multiplicative inverse by repeatedly checking with each of the value. Okay. Again, in multiplicative inverse, you have a condition. What is that condition is? You can generate only 12 possible keys. If you have 26, if you take the 26 modulus 26 with 26 alphabets, what the condition says is, A can have a multiplicative inverse. All the 26 numbers cannot have multiplicative inverse. They cannot have multiplicative inverse because you have to follow a condition that the number A can have a multiplicative inverse if and only if the greatest common divisor of the modulus n and A becomes equal to 1. If it is not there, if the GCD of these two numbers does not become equal to 1, then that number cannot have a multiplicative inverse. Okay. Suppose if you have a key 3 with modulus 26, or you take the base modulus 10 only, if you take the same modulus z of 10 and key is 8, what is the multiplicative inverse of 8? You have to check with each of the number from 0 to 9. 8 into 0 modulus 10. It will be 0 only. That means 0 is not multiplicative inverse. If you check with 8 into 1 modulus 10. 8 into 1, 8 modulus 10, remainder will be 8. That means it is not multiplicative inverse. 8 into 2 modulus 10. 16 modulus 10 will give you 6. If you check with 3, 8 into 3 modulus 10 will give you 4. 8 into 4 modulus 10 will give you the value 2. Again it is not multiplicative inverse. If you take 8 into 5 will be 40 modulus 10 will give you 0. Then if you take 8 into 6 modulo 10 will give you 8. If you take 8 into 7 by 10, it will give you 6. If you take 8 into 8 modulo 10, it will give you 64 by 10, value will be 4. That means again it is not a multiplicative inverse. If you take 8 into 9, 72 modulo 10 will give you 2. That means none of value in this is generating a value 1. Why? Because what is the GCD of 10 and 8? GCD of 10 and 8 is 2, is it not? That means it is not possible to generate an additive inverse for 8. In general, we can assume that none of the even number in none of the modulus, even number cannot have a multiplicative inverse. In none of the system, the even number will be having no multiplicative inverse. That means you have to generate a key which is not even. Okay. And again, all the odd numbers cannot become the multiplicative inverse. You cannot generate a multiplicative inverse for all the odd numbers. For even numbers, you don't have the chance to generate a multiplicative inverse. In odd numbers also, you have some of the exceptions which are not able to generate a multiplicative inverse. Okay. So, GCD of the modulus and the A must become equal to 1. Suppose if you take a value 5, okay, base is 10 and A value is 5. What is the GCD of this? Is 5. Again, this number, even though it is odd, you cannot have the multiplicative inverse. Suppose if you take a number 7, A as 7, N is 10. What is the GCD of 10 comma 7? It is 1, isn't it? So, GCD of 10 and 7 is 1. So, you can generate a multiplicative inverse for the number 7. Alright. Here we have a table which shows the possible keys that can be used to generate an inverse. Along with that, they have given the inverse of those numbers also, isn't it? Okay. Here the modulus is 26, which is generally used for the cryptography. Okay. Modulus is 26. Key that can be used to generate an inverse: 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23 and 25. Okay. You don't have, you can observe here, if you check with all the keys, you are missing one number. Which is that number? Can you check? One number is missing. Which number is missing? We are missing the odd number 13. Why it is missing? If you generate the GCD, if you check with the GCD of 26 comma 13, which is the GCD here? 13 is the GCD. Is it not? That means it is violating the rule that GCD of both the modulus and the number must be 1. here it is violating. So 13 cannot have a multiplicative inverse. Alright. Now it's already checked and has been given. Okay. If you check with this whether it is correct or not, let's have a counter check of that. We don't agree for anything without checking, is it not? So we have the key 1. How do you generate is 1 into 1 modulo 26. So it will give you what? 1. Okay. 3, 9 is the multiplicative inverse of 3. So how you can check? 3 into 9 modulo 26. 27 modulo 26 will give you 1. Is it not? Next you have 5 into 21. 21 is the inverse, multiplicative inverse of 5. 5 into 21 by 26 will give you 105 by 26 modulo. The remainder will be 1. If you check with any of the value in this table and perform this operation, multiply these two and perform the modulus operation on this product, it will give you the remainder 1. Okay. So you have to remember this table for further cipher methods. So there are 12 possible keys and their multiplicative inverse has been given here. Have a look at this and remember the inverse and keys for further cryptographic methods. Alright. In the last session, I have explained to you about additive inverse, is it not? So additive inverse, we are having the expression C equals P plus K, plain text value plus K modulo 26. Now we have P equals C minus K, that is ciphertext minus K mod 26, isn't it? So now this is the encryption method. Encryption method where we are taking the value of the hello 7, 4, 11, 11 and 14, isn't it? Now we have to perform P plus K. K here is 15. Okay. So key is 15 here. Okay. 7 plus 15 mod 26 will give you 22. Then 4 plus 15, 19 by mod 26 will give you 19. When you give 11 plus 15, it will be 26 mod 26 will give you 0, that is the first letter A. So the letter HELLO has been encrypted to WTAAD. Now the next thing is decrypting. At the receiver, the decryption must be done, is it not? Decryption must be done. Okay. In this, the alphabets are WTAAD. We had 22, 19, 0, 0, 3. Okay. Now we have to find out the inverse. 22 minus 15 is, we have the modulus result 7. Okay. It will give you 37 mod 26 will give you 7. Now we have the decryption method for 22 minus 15 will have the 7 mod 26 will give the plain text value 7, which is the character H, isn't it? Next we have the T19. 19 minus 15 will give you 4. 4 mod 26 is 4 only. So it will be E. Next comes is the A 0 0. Okay. Here we have to find out 0 0 minus 15. Okay. Now how do you find out the value? It is minus 15, is it not? Minus 15 mod 26. Okay. So mod 26, how do you perform in the negative value is, you have to find out the additive inverse in such a case. How do you generate additive inverse? So B equals n minus A. Here n is 26 minus 15 will give you 11. Is it not? So it is 11. 11 mod 26 will give you the alphabet L. Got it? This is the second one. Same thing you have to do. Last one is 0 3 minus 15 will give you minus 12. So you have to perform B equals 26 minus 12 will give you 14. So will give you the 14 mod 26 will be 14 only. Okay. So whenever there is negative value generated in the decryption method, you have to find out the additive inverse of the number. Okay. So this will give you the actual alphabet. Fine. Now you know the use of additive inverse, is it not? Okay. We shall see the use of multiplicative inverse in the next method of ciphering. Okay. For additive cipher, we have another name which is called as the shift ciphers. It is also called as shift cipher. Why it is called as shift cipher is, it shifts the character, isn't it? It is either shifting forward or shifting backward. Like if you are at the character F, you can be shifted for 15 letters or 5 letters next forwarded, or 5 letters or 3 letters backward, is it not? You are going to shift. Suppose if key is 15, the encryption algorithm shifts to 15 characters down from the current character. You will be shifted down towards the end of the alphabet, 15 characters. During decryption, 15 characters are shifted up or shifted backwards, isn't it? Towards the beginning. Okay. If end or beginning is reached, if it is generating again after Z, what is the next character is? We shall again start with A. Once the Z is finished, if you think, oh, Z is finished, no need to generate a character, it is not like that. If you finish the code at Z, if you have the character 26 or integer value 25 plus 5 is the key, will give you 25 plus 5, 30. Now what you have to do is, you have to find out the value by subtracting the modulus value, new value by modulus value. If it exceeds 26, it will give you 4. That means after Z, again you will start with the character E. Okay. So this is how you can shift the values. Along with the shift cipher, it is also called as the Caesar cipher. Why it is called as the Caesar is, you know about the Julius Caesar. So this person has used this encryption method to encrypt his message which will be reaching his minister. So he used 3 as the key value to generate a encrypted message or cryptic code to forward the message to his minister or his followers. Since it is used by cipher, this cipher method is used by the Caesar, Julius Caesar, so it is also called as the Caesar cipher. Okay. Now, if you check with the vulnerability of this method of ciphering, we have to perform the crypt analysis. Okay. What is the crypt analysis will do is, after checking, what is the conclusion is, additive ciphers are more vulnerable to ciphertext only attacks. They are more vulnerable to ciphertext only attacks. You cannot express these things much frequently using the additive ciphers. You cannot use additive ciphers for more time because the adversary can easily check with the or attack your encrypted data. So, one of the method is exhaustive key search or brute force attack is most widely used on additive ciphers. Okay, because the key domain is very small. Why it is? Because key domain is very small. We have only 26 keys, that means 0 to 25. You cannot include 0 because it doesn't changes any value, is it not? If you add 4 plus 0, say if it is hello only, okay. So, if H is 7, if you use 0 as the key, 7 plus 0 will give you 7 only. That means it is not at all encrypted because again it is giving the character H only, is it not? So, you cannot include 0 as a key for encrypting. So, how much keys left is only 25, is it not? So, using only 25 keys, you can easily decrypt the message if you are a intruder or an attacker. Okay. If Eve is a intruder or Eve is a attacker, she can launch a brute force attack on this ciphertext which uses the additive cipher with just 25 keys. Okay. For example, if we have the ciphertext UVA CLYF ZLJBYL. Okay. So, we assume that the key is 7. That means you can go on adding the key value to this ciphertext. If you use key value as 1, subtracting this key value 1 from its integer value, it will give you this. But it is not meaningful. That means Eve got to know that this is not the message. Again, she will apply key as 2. Again, she has shifted 2 alphabets backward. Then you will get STYAJ like this. Again, this is not a meaningful message. Next comes is the K3. Again, it will not give you a meaningful sentence. Next comes is the K5, K4, K5, K6. None of the keys are giving a meaningful sentence. Now, last remained is the K7. Okay. When key 7 is applied, okay, she will get a meaningful sentence, not very secure. So, this is a meaningful sentence. That means she has got a conclusion that key you have used is 7 and this is the original message or the plain text that has been sent over internet. If you have set K for 25, she can check for K equals 25, is it not? So, she can get a meaningful message in the 25th search. Okay. That means there is more vulnerability of additive ciphers when compared to other kinds of cipher methods. Along with brute force or exhaustive search, it is again affected by even the statistical attacks. It is vulnerable, additive cipher method is vulnerable to statistical attack also. How is that? If you have given a long text. This is a short text. She can easily apply the key and check. If you have sent a long text or a paragraph as a message, if she gets into that entire paragraph, what she will check is, she will check for the repeated words or repeated alphabets. Okay? She will identify the repeated words and alphabets and analyze the repeated words. What may be? This word is repeated these many times. These codes are repeated these many times. What may be the words or what may be the alphabets used? So she will go on predicting that. Here we have a tabulation of frequency of the characters in English. Okay, like most of the times or most repeated letter in a message with English language is E with the frequency of 12.7. You have the frequency of 12.7, T as 9.1. So H will be there. We use most of the times the, THE. So again H will have 6.1. Again in D we have E. That means in English language, the most commonly used character is the E. So this tabulation gives you the frequency of the alphabets that are used in a message. Okay. So this frequency can be used to predict the alphabets. Whereas it is not enough to get the frequency of the alphabets. Along with that, you have to predict the words. Okay. What type of words are repeated? For that, they have the list of repeated words which are sometimes they are word with 2 alphabets, sometimes it will be words with 3 alphabets. Okay. So here we have again tabulation of frequently used 2-letter words and frequently used 3-letter words. So this is a tabulation which represents 2-letter word or 2-alphabet word and 3-alphabet word. This logic can be used to perform a statistical attack on the additive cipher method. Okay. If the intercepted message is as shown below, if it is like this, okay, then Eve will find the count of most commonly used letter, which is most widely used here. She will go on listing the repetition of the letters, like I is repeated 14 times, V is repeated 13 times, S is repeated 12 times, and like this. She will list out repetition of all the alphabets in the message. Okay. The most common character is I with 14 occurrences. Okay. So now she will compare this repetition with the frequency of the letters. 14 nearer to this is 12.7 frequency with the letter E. So she will conclude that the key that is used is 4. E has the value 4, is it not? E has the numeric value 4. Okay. So you can view here, E has the numeric value 4. That's why she assumes that key is 4. Once she get into the key, she can encrypt or she can decrypt the entire message. Now the message has been decrypted with a meaningful sentence. Okay. She can repeat the message or she can find, once she finds out the key, the Eve or the attacker or the adversary can generate the original message or can decrypt the message to its plain text. So when compared to other methods of cipher or cryptography, additive ciphering is most vulnerable one and it must be used very rarely when compared to other types of ciphers. Okay. In the next session, we shall continue with other substitution ciphers. In the next session, we shall continue with the next or other types of substitution cipher. Thank you.